morning,
Good
Morgan.
morning, Teresa.
It's so great to see you today. And I'm very excited to introduce this video about your life planning initiative. But first, let's introduce you. So, of course, you're Morgan Miller, although that's a new
Yep,
last name, right?
it is. As of a couple
You
months ago,
are
it's official.
That's wonderful. And you're the director of life planning for the Hedley Haeger Group. And
I
our
am.
today
Yep.
is to just to introduce the whole initiative for your clients so that they can really have a place to go to understand what's available. So my first question, and by the way, I'm Tresa Lieutenant. I'm a CFP and I'm also a mindset coach with our coaching initiative. And we'll be talking more about that as well. But I thought we'd start with a first question, Morgan, which is, so help us understand why the Hedley Hager Group included life planning as a client service.
Yeah. So, as you know, Teresa, a big part of our job is helping clients and families through transitions, marriage, divorce, retirement.
Mhm.
It could be anything, right?
Yeah.
And those transitions can often be very jarring, even if they're a net positive. So for example, last year, I'm planning my wedding and it was fun, but it was also incredibly stressful. So, had a lot going on, navigating a budget, keeping track of vendors, all of that while simultaneously planning a honeymoon. It was so stressful that I ended up hiring a wedding coordinator for the day of, just to help make sure things stayed on track. So just like wedding planning, a big part of these life transitions is obviously managing the financial piece, but the other piece is planning and coordination. So we've helped families, grow resources, grow wealth, but we wanted to kind of go beyond the numbers to help people plan for these life transitions that can often be really stressful. And so life planning came out of similar conversations that Jeff and Ben have been having with families for a long time. For example, a recurring conversation that they were having with clients who have successful careers and were facing retirement. They were concerned about being unfulfilled in retirement. And that's a valid concern.
Mhm.
So Jeff and Ben thought, how can we help make this transition a little easier? And that is through our life planning services.
Well, it's really something that the industry is leaning into more. The idea that we have these intimate conversations with clients about their lives, and there's so much more decision making that is required other than just about the money. So you
Exactly.
have this life planning initiative and you're the
Mhm.
director of it. So
I am.
what is your overall role?
Yeah, great question. So I have the honor of following in Jody's footsteps.
Mhm.
Think of me as a liaison between our team, the Hedley Hager Group, and the many resources that we have to help clients and families with transitions. So, for example, we have a great relationship with a team who can plan for healthcare coverage in retirement. That's a huge concern for a lot of families and a lot of recent retirees. We also work with an organization that can help find senior housing. That's not something that a lot of people want to talk about or think about. But if you are part of the, shall we say, the sandwich generation and have a parent who is in failing health, you can work with this company to facilities, learn about what different communities offer, etc., with a professional by your side. So I ultimately like to think of myself as a resource coordinator or a concierge, if you will.
At concierge for sure. So
Yes.
think about this wide range of potential assistance that you can be for your clients. Like, what's your favorite part?
Great question. My favorite part, I think, is that it's collaborative with our clients and families. So we want to make sure that we're creating resources and providing education that is useful
Uh-huh.
and that is also engaging. We know that there's a lot of media noise out there. And so we want to be, one of the first resources that you turn to. So if you're watching and you have any topics you'd like us to discuss, please let us know. As Ben once said in our For What It's Worth podcast, if there's a topic on your mind, it's probably on somebody else's mind as well. So we want to be here and we want to talk about it with you.
Exactly. You talk about the media noise. There's so many articles and videos out there that'll just tell you basic general information.
Exactly.
Whereas this resource, this opportunity is to speak directly to your clients' needs and desires around different areas of their life, where they want to learn
Exactly.
more, where they want to be challenged, where they want to get assistance. And that's why you're doing this, and that's why we're doing this video as well, just to heighten awareness about the opportunity. Right. So what are some of the main life planning topics that your clients have said that they would like to know more about?
Yeah, so last year in 2024, the two most popular trends were anything to do with career. So, from people just starting out and needing help with, say, interview prep, asking for a raise, those types of and conversations, to career transitions, like, say, finding a second career or becoming a mentor. And then retirement was a big secondary topic. So everything from what retirement will look like on a day-to-day basis to finding purpose in retirement. And those two, career and retirement, are still very popular topics this year, but through conversations with families, we've kind of honed in on another topic, which is family relationships. So specifically, for example, in what we call the sandwich generation, again, topics like talking to your family about wealth, preparing parents for a transition to senior living, maintaining those relationships between the generations. Those are topics that this year in 2025 have been brought up and that we're doing our best to address.
Well, we have a couple of those topics that we're working on content right now. And so that
Exactly.
brings up the partnership that you have with our coaching initiative, which is a life
Yep.
coaching and life planning company. I'm a mindset coach for them, as well as Lindsay Troxel, who's on your website, and she's the founder company. So it's important kind of for people to understand, like, what's the benefit of you partnering with a life coach and a life planning company?
Yeah, so I think the better question might be, how can they not benefit? But yeah, let's talk about all the resources that you guys over at OCI provide. What immediately comes to mind for me is the monthly video content and the workbooks that you guys put out, because those topics can really be evergreen. So those resources are always there for our clients and for our families through our website. Right. And then there is the annual retirement readiness event that you guys throw for us every year in the spring. Clients can attend, once, twice, three times, however many times they want to attend. And that's meant to be a springboard into retirement. And I know you guys really work hard to tweak the content every year based on feedback,
Yes.
which is great. It's a great program now. And not to mention the one-on-one coaching you guys provide to our clients if there's a specific situation that somebody wants to address or a goal that they're trying to achieve. Anything from a stressful situation at work to helping build employee morale for a business owner. The goals are so varied, but on a slightly different scale, then you guys have the open coaching calls that you host monthly, where anybody can call in. So if a client has say, an interview coming up, they can pick your brains on the best way to prepare, or maybe even have like a mock interview.
Mhm.
Um,
Quite a bit of that on these monthly. They're once a month. They're just an hour where people can call in. So you kind of have to remember them. But we've done some wonderful coaching, yes, but more discussions around helping people get through a moment of difficulty, or where they're just
exactly.
don't quite know what to do next. And we can help them work through that, and so that they can get going and make more progress.
Yeah, you guys are always there to help, and we certainly appreciate that.
Well, why don't we take a moment now to go through the resource page so that
Great.
everybody knows how to find it and how to use it and what's there. I think that'll be really exciting and fun.
Perfect. And I'm excited for this because we just updated our website
Ah,
to be more user friendly and resource heavy for everybody. So let me just navigate to that page. Yeah, so this is the new Hedley Hoeger Group website.
beautiful.
Thank you. And if you go to the client login page, we really worked to update this page so you have all of the Hedley Hoeger resources
Mhm.
and our coaching initiative resources at your fingertips. So from this page, clients can log into Baird Online. If you're having any sort of technical support issues through Baird, you can click here. Here is a referral form. So we've got the Planning Resource Center, Life Planning Resource Center, and then the Baird and the Baird Online Resource Center. So of course, we're going to go into the Life Planning Resource Center today. this page does password protected. So just type that
So in
in.
other words, they receive a login, probably their email, and then they can set up their own password.
So the PIN will remain the same for everybody.
Pin's the same. Okay.
Yep. Yep. And that is really for clients only. So we will share that with everybody in our monthly newsletter.
Okay.
So as you can see on the page, this is our Life Planning Resource Center, and we have life coaching resources. So all of these videos and then the corresponding workbooks or journals, you can just download those as PDFs. So look at all of these great video topics that you guys have put together for us.
How your nervous system works, creating new habits. There's just
Exactly.
really, we've done a pretty good job.
You've done a great job. Yeah. And so now some of these newer career coaching resources are here as well. So your mentorship video, which was one of my personal favorites because I could just tell how much fun you guys were having on that video. And the effective interviews, that prep workbook is
Excellent.
very good. Yes, it's just a place for you to think and put down your thoughts and concentrate, on what is coming up. And I've never seen a similar type of workbook before. So this is not a resource that you can find just anywhere.
We were very intentional about it for sure.
Intentional, exactly. Yep. And then here at the bottom, we go through some of our retirement resources and business resources as well. And this page, this is just the start of this page. It's very new and we're adding content all of the time.
Well, that being said, how do clients get notified when new content is available?
Yeah, great question. So I hope everybody is reading our monthly newsletter. It should be sent to your email. We work really hard on it. And if you're not getting our newsletter, please do let us know. It is the number one resource for clients to keep up with not just our team, but, market trends, anything that is going on in financial planning world, all sorts of updates and good information. And that includes all of our new life planning content.
Well, one of the things that I think is important is that I think you are hopeful for is that as clients interact with your firm in all the different places they can, that something is triggered in them that, wow, maybe they could create some content around this. This is a topic that I'm interested in. And I think you want to give everybody permission to reach out to you and just discuss it with you
Absolutely.
so that you can put it on the schedule.
Yeah, we really want feedback. In fact, we depend on it to really grow the life planning initiative. So this is what I think of as a very collaborative effort, not just between ourselves here at Hedley Hoeger and you guys at OCI, but between all of our clients as well. And again, I kind of laughed when Ben said that line, but if you're thinking about it, or it's something you don't know, or it's something that you want to discuss, chances are somebody else out there is having the same thought or having the same question. So we want to talk about it and we want to be your first resource to go to, when you have a question or you want to have a conversation, we are here.
Well, from my perspective, working with, I'm a 40-year retired financial advisor. So I have a lot of experience about working with companies and now as a coach. So I just want to acknowledge you and congratulate you for this incredibly high quality initiative that you have around these resources and life planning. And so, I just acknowledge you for that. I invite all your clients to up their level of commitment, of interacting with it. And before we say goodbye, is
Thanks,
there
Tresa.
anything else that you would like to make sure everyone knows?
I think, life planning really came out of conversations that Ben and Jeff had over time with clients. And so this is them really bringing their experience and saying, what are we missing in our practice? Let's keep growing in this direction. And it is such a pleasure working with, both Jeff and Ben, two people who are very loyal and put families and clients first, always.
Yes, I know this is kind of like a culmination of a vision that they've had for quite some time. So I'm excited to be part of it and to introduce it to your clients.
Thanks, Tresa.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Of course. Bye.